How can an immigration lawyer help an immigrant who's charged with a crime? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our office here in St. Louis, Missouri. Immigration law is complicated. Criminal law is complicated. And when the two of them intersect, when immigration law and criminal law combine, if you have an immigrant charged with a crime, things get really hairy. Now, we're not talking about situations where somebody has already become a U.S. citizen. We're talking about where the immigrant is either a lawful permanent resident or is here on some kind of non-immigrant visa. Things get really hairy quickly, and you might think that you are going to be treated like a U.S. citizen would be treated, but that is not the case. So, of course, one of the first things we always tell people, and it's not just because we're looking for business, that if you are an immigrant and you get charged with a crime, your first call should be to an immigration lawyer, not to a criminal lawyer. And I say that because while there are many diligent criminal defense lawyers who look out for the best interests of their clients and understand that immigrants are treated differently, many criminal defense lawyers do not understand that, or just want to get the case resolved and they treat you as if you're a U.S. citizen. But you know what? Let me just tell you something. You're not a U.S. citizen. And so don't think that you should be treated like one or that the results are going to be the same. Everything is different when you're an immigrant because immigration law is federal. And there are rules about who gets deported and who gets to stay in the United States. And there are 50 different states with 50 different laws covering all sorts of crimes. And every case is different, every crime is different. Taking care of an immigrant who has been charged with a crime is one of the most complicated things that we do in our office. It takes attention to detail. You have to dig into the statute. We treat every case differently, and we dig in and look at the facts and the law of every single case. And sometimes you really have to be creative, and you really have to understand the ins and outs of immigration law and criminal law to see if a plea deal that's been offered to a criminal defendant is acceptable or not for immigration purposes. So we've had situations where we dug deep and we found a way for an immigrant to stay. We also have helped many immigrants try to negotiate with a prosecutor to come up with a solution that allows the prosecutor to get their conviction, but also allows the immigrant the best chance possible to stay in the United States. Now, a lot of times you're dealing with a tough situation and the immigrant might just be getting deported if they face the charges, if they plead guilty, but at least they know what they're getting into. And so too often we see situations where an immigrant has hired a criminal defense lawyer, pled guilty to a crime, and only then remembers, oh yeah, I'm an immigrant. Maybe something bad might happen to me. And so we don't want that to happen to you. And we want to make sure that you understand the severity of what you're doing. Now, of course, if you're a lawful permanent resident, you have greater protections than someone here on a non-immigrant visa, like a student visa or a visitor visa. But that doesn't mean you're in the clear. Green card holders get deported all the time. And a lot of times what triggers it for green card holders is when they travel overseas. So if you are a green card holder and you've been charged with a crime, before you travel overseas, you really need to talk to an immigration lawyer because certain things can be triggered towards your deportation if you re-enter the United States after having left following a conviction. So like I said at the beginning, this stuff is really complicated. Sometimes it makes my head hurt. It takes us a long time to research and to decide or to advise the client as to what their best plan of action might be. But it's tough, and it's a lot of responsibility to tell someone, yeah, I think if you plead guilty to this, you will get deported, or yeah, if I plead guilty to this, you won't get deported. So we take that responsibility very seriously. If you have questions about crimes and immigration, give us a call at 314-961-8200. If you have a video you'd like for us to shoot on the topic, email us at info@hackinglawpractice.com. You can also always join our Facebook group, post your questions in there. That Facebook group is called Immigrant Home. And we have a YouTube channel that you should subscribe to. And please share this video out on social media. And we will see you next time. Thanks a lot.